Alright, check it. Obama proposed that body cameras be put on cops when they out patrolling and things like that. And this morning I saw a video of, I guess, the first incident, maybe the first incident, I don't know. Vlad TV posted a video of a cop, I guess, responding to a call, or a cop with a body camera on him pulling into a parking lot. And it was a church parking lot. There was people in further away, like a little gathering of people. And when the cop was walking around the parking lot, he actually approached a man and a woman, and he asked, I just want to check you for weapons, make sure you don't have anything that's gonna hurt me or whatever. So when he grabbed both his hands, to basically put him in handcuffs so he could do a pat down of the man. The guy bolted. When the guy bolted, he actually ran and stopped. And it looked like he dropped something, and whatever he dropped, he picked up, and then all I see was shots being fired at the guy, and the guy drops. Now, this guy actually was carrying a gun, and according to what the officer said, it was cocked and it was loaded, and I guess he was gonna, I don't know, whatever. But when I first saw the video, I felt like, you know what, maybe these body cameras are a really good way to cut out all, the gray line of did he have his hands up or whatever, because I don't know, that looked conclusive. The cop did his job. And again, referencing Star from Shot 97, these cops, I do believe that a lot of these cops are drug addicts and they're high on authority, and that's a good way to describe how these cops do their job. They're high on authority, and they feel that since they have the right to basically do what they want to you, it's like if they have some kind of bias to you, they have the law to back up their behavior, and that's going to support them. Now, the camera on the cop basically started with him pulling into the parking lot area, and it started from there, which was good because, basically it's really good because it shows from start to finish, and it wasn't turned on after the guy was shot or whatever, and then we don't know. No, you see everything. When the cop gets out of the car, the camera is on. The camera captures him trying to, the police officer trying to handcuff the suspect, and basically explaining to him, I just want to check you for weapons. Are you carrying everything? He was basically giving him a lot of conversation that a lot of cops won't do. They'll handcuff you and then be like, I'll tell you when I'm done, and this, that, and the other. He was actually talking to him step by step. Listen, I'm going to put these handcuffs on you. I'm going to pat you down, make sure you ain't carrying anything. And the guy just took off. And what the camera captured was A through Z. And I can tell you right now, if the community is now gonna go up in the uproar over this, I don't see it, because the cop was just doing his job, and the guy caused himself to get shot. If he never turned around, if he never dropped the gun, if he just kept running, I don't think he would have got killed. First off, he shouldn't have ran. You got the gun on you, listen, take me to jail. I'm dirty. I'm wrong, and things like that. But when you then aggressively stop and turn around with a gun in your hand and all this other stuff, you give the cop all the reason to shoot you. And once you do that, the gloves are off. There's no defense for that. So that video is a useful and helpful tool to say, listen, more police officers need body cameras, because it protects the officer, and it also can protect the citizen that the officer is confronting. Because what if the guy didn't have a gun, or what if the guy had a cell phone? Even if the guy had a cell phone, he was just reaching for a cell phone because he thought he was getting a call. I don't know, while he was running, reached for his cell phone, and the cop mistakenly thought he had a gun. At least the video would show why that cop felt the need to discharge his firearm. So these things that the video will capture will give investigators, I guess, the information to go on and make decisions based on what they see on the video. I mean, even after the scene played out, the cop was still breathing hard, and it wasn't like he ran a long distance. The cop was still breathing. You could tell that his adrenaline was pumping. He was excited, and the shooting was traumatic for the officer. His other fellow officers had to kind of console him, and he put his head down on the squad car and banged his fist like he was really upset, like he really didn't want this to go down that way. And some cops, you know, when they, I guess they're in a situation where somebody that they were tussling with winds up, you know, being hurt. Some of them, you know, slap each other, high fives, and he got what he deserved. He shouldn't have been resisting and all this other stuff. Like Eric Gardner, there was a video being shot of the scene where Eric Gardner was laid out and the cops were just surrounding him, and the paramedics was, I guess, trying to revive him by shaking him, really, but whatever. So the cop that actually administered the chokehold is waving into the camera, "Hi, Mom." You see the man, you see the damage that you inflicted on this man, no remorse, and you're saying, "Hi, Mom," waving into the cameras. Okay, this officer actually felt bad after the whole ordeal was over. He basically puts his head down and things like that. Now, a lot of cops may not act that way. Some, I don't know, but I can tell you this much: I would never say that all cops are bad, and I would never say that, and I would just never lump all cops in with a few bad cops. I would just say, you know, whenever you're basically in dealings with a police officer, treat them all the same. Respect, hands up, comply with them, and nothing should go wrong. It shouldn't, and it can at times, but if you just comply with the officer, listen, you know what, I'm dirty, I know, you know, I can't get mad at a police officer doing his job, but at the same time, if I'm just minding my business and you mistakenly think that I'm somebody that I'm not, and then you just start, you know, disrespecting me and grabbing on me and tussling with me and stuff like that, I mean, how can you not expect me to feel some kind of way when you're disrespecting me? Because if you want respect, you have to give respect. I'm not saying that you walk up to a criminal that you know is a criminal and address him as sir and give him the utmost respect when he's probably thinking about killing you. I'm not saying that the police officer should approach it that way. All I'm saying is that you have incidents where cops go to an address to, I guess, execute a search warrant or whatever. They kick in the wrong door, and they may shoot the person, smack them around, and all this other, oops, wrong, address or whatever. And they have no remorse. They're not going to the person to make sure that they're okay, because that could be a psychological effect that they may suffer at the hands of abusive cops. I mean, a lot of things happen. I think that if I were a police officer, I would feel bad, and I would probably reach out to that family to try to offer them some kind of assistance and things like that. Where I talked about in another video how the 2 cops in New York were basically executed, and there was an outpour of financial support for their families, funeral services paid, and all this other stuff. But the guy that got shot and killed in Brooklyn just for walking in a dimly lit staircase, no criminal activity, and the police chief goes on the news and have a press conference to confirm the fact that the guy that got killed wasn't doing anything illegal. He was just walking in the staircase, and a cop discharged his firearm and killed him. Now, is the city doing anything for that family? Is the cop doing anything for that family? I don't know. But that body camera video that I saw this morning, it was really telling that more cops need to wear those cameras attached to their uniforms, because it basically takes all the doubt out of everything, because the video evidence proves that you can't change what the video captures. And looking at that, I felt bad for the guy, but at the same time, all he had to do was just go to jail and take that gun rap. But according to the officer, it was cocked, it was loaded. Like, why would you bring a firearm to a church anyway? What is at that church that is so threatening that you feel the need to arm yourself? Guaranteed he didn't have a carry permit. He didn't have a carry permit. I'm sure it was an unlicensed firearm. Why are you walking around with a loaded cocked firearm at a church gathering? I don't get it. So either the officer was called out there, or he was on patrol, maybe saw something and felt the need to turn on his body camera and approach the 2 people in the parking lot. And I can tell you like this, that video was a proof. If nothing else, that video proved that a lot of these officers need cameras on their person. They really do. Because I think that if a lot of these a lot of these stop and frisk or anything that involves dealing with the public is videotaped, not a person on the side of the street with his cell phone taping it, but the officer actually recording a situation dealing with the public. It helps him. And any officer that don't want this as part of their uniform, you got to question that. Why are you so adamant against having one of these cameras? Is it because you're so used to doing dumb shit that now you don't want to be recording evidence that's going to end your career? I'm just saying. But this was a very powerful video. Vlad TV is where I saw this video, and it's very, very, it's graphic, it's raw, and I had to definitely side with the police officer, and I like his response, his emotion that he displayed afterwards, because you can see that that's probably the first time he ever had to shoot anyone, and it shook him to his core, and you see that on the video. I mean, I kind of almost felt for the cop, like, wow, he really went through it.